thank you for joining me today. I want to learn a little bit more about you. So if you can tell me about your journey coming here and then joining the company.
Sure. Probably should start off saying that myself and co-owner, executive chef Becca Tweeney, we've known each other since we were 19.
Wow.
We're both from LA County in Southern California. We met working at a recording studio. So we both have our audio engineering degrees. So when you're checking mics, that's just very, normal to me. Sure, let's check mics, that's fine. We both got our culinary degrees afterwards. She went off and opened up the Wynn Casino in Las Vegas.
Wow.
I went and started a startup for a private event company. Started my own private event company. So we didn't really actually work together until a year ago when she had been up here and started Nala's about 4.5 years ago now, and asked if I would help run the operation side, help run the business side while she ran the kitchen. She is, in the least, a badass chef.
Okay.
She's amazing. But all the time and dedication she gets into the kitchen aspect, it's really tough to dedicate the same amount of time and effort to do the business. Plus she has 2 daughters. So she knew that, 1, she could trust me. I mean, we've known each other forever. And 2, I know what I'm doing. I know, and so she asked if I would come and partner with her. And, it was a little tough when you think about it, leaving my family and leaving what I know, the weather and my friends and everything to start, but to be involved in this startup that I'm not, I don't really know food business, I just know business.
Right.
But I knew what I was capable of and I was confident. So I said, yeah, let's do this, because I know that I call myself her Flavor Flav. I'm like her #1 hype man. I'm like, I can do this because you're amazing. And I know that what I can do will definitely make a difference. So I came up here. I've been up here for a year and a month.
Okay.
And yeah.
I think it's important for any business to have that voice. And like you were saying before, not everybody can do everything on their own. So it is important to always have not necessarily somebody that's kind of there holding your hand, but also be there as support.
Yeah.
There's just that balance has to be there, and sometimes because been through it myself, trying to do everything and be everybody. You
honestly can't. And that's what she was finding. She was finding that she only has enough time and there's only enough time in the day to be really good at, a handful of things you can't expect to do.
Right.
Be great at everything. You might be able to do a little bit here and there, but you're going to lack. It's going to lack, you're not going to be able to give it the full attention that you would if that was your job. For me coming in and working on the marketing and the promoting and the networking and all the sales, all that kind of stuff has really helped her now elevate her food and, doing things like the chef competition that we had a month ago, being able to do that where before she never would have had the time. So being able to dedicate herself in the kitchen to charities, to events, and then just to making great food has it just elevated the company in general, not just her in the kitchen. People are really recognizing the fact that they can get like amazing meals from an executive chef, and it's like making sense to people. It's clicking that like, oh, this is better than just your Blue Apron type of BS. You're getting some really good stuff here. Yeah.
So just to jump back to the cooking competition.
Yeah.
Can I know more about that?
Sure, absolutely.
That come about, or how did that kind of
This is actually, you're going to think this is hilarious. So we were on another podcast, but it was 1056 podcast. They're a beer podcast.
Okay.
What does that have to do with that? It's not much, except for the fact that we were like, Chef Becca goes, I'm going to create a beer-centric menu this week.
Right.
And I'm going to make it so we can elevate beer food, bar food, brewery food. I'm going to introduce some elements of these beers into salad dressings. I'm going to poach salmon in beer, and I don't know, can't even remember everything she had. She had a beer cheese, mac and cheese type deal. It was amazing.
Okay.
You would have loved it. We presented it to the guys. We actually sold it on the site. And during the middle of the podcast, they're eating and they're like, you guys should do like a chef competition where you go to these breweries and it's like you and another chef, and it's like a chop thing.
Right.
He was just totally just talking out of our ass type deal, let's making conversation for podcasting.
Right.
And Chef Becca ran with it. She went and found a brewery, Better Half Brewery in Bristol.
Okay.
They have a big open kitchen. So she got Xavier Santiago, who's the executive chef for Carbone Prime,
Right.
and Carlos Perez, who's the executive chef at The Corner in Litchfield. Amazing chef, both of them amazing chefs. And they chose to do this competition in the name of American Foundation of Suicide Prevention.
Okay.
So ticket sales, portion of the ticket sales went to the AFSP. We had a live auction where we went to AFSP. I mean, you can imagine, we had the competition, we had the judges, the podcast guys were there again, we had DJs, we had DJ 10-4 is his name, and he was amazing. Darren Rivera, who's a stand-up comedian, he hosted it, but everyone donated their time, their product, their service to this event, all in the name. Right. We had influencers, so we ended up having as much of a packed house as one can in COVID times.
Right.
We even sponsor some like Bellator and MMA fighters, and they came to, we had some other chefs from other restaurants around. Zach Schumann came, Tom Caldy came. So like, we had a really good turnout, and a lot of people, it created a lot of buzz, and a lot of people were excited about it, and we had some other chefs reach out to us since then saying, I want to be part of the next one.
Right.
We had other people email me saying, I want to volunteer and help you guys with the next one. Obviously the DJ 10-4 and Darren Rivera, like, I want to host, I want to DJ the next one.
Of course.
We got a call from a reporter from the Chronicle. And actually today we had our interview with her regarding the event and regarding like chef collaboration for charities and for events and things like that. So we're going to be in the Chronicle and Ravings and Cravings, like a featured article now, I think in January, which is going to be amazing. Yeah. So a lot of good things have happened from this, and you'll be part of the next one, so don't worry. We're going to get as many people as possible, for sure. Yeah.
Have you seen the conversion from the event to more people kind of checking you guys out, utilizing your service, or has that?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I guess I'll let everybody know, because of the event and the ideas that we've had from the initial podcast, we are now members of the Brewers Guild.
Wow.
As well. So what we're doing is we are creating another food source for these breweries, so they don't have to rely on food trucks in the winter. So during the winter time, it's going to be really tough. I mean, food trucks are already canceling with the weather. And now with COVID regulations, these breweries have to supply food. We've heard that we have breweries that are running and getting sandwiches, so they can have sandwiches, because I guess now they're not able to just have chips and nuts, things like that. They actually have meals.
Leaving it out. Yeah.
So now we are going to be providing another food source for these breweries, not only to be able to serve to their patrons so they can serve their beer, but also to make money on the back end. So they'll be able to, so the food trucks, these breweries are not making any money. Now with us, they'll be able to buy at wholesale and resell them, and they're going to actually now have another revenue stream to themselves too. So we're part of the guild. We're actually backed by Phil Pappas, who's the director of the guild, and we're going to go full force and hopefully make something of this elevated bar food that Chef Becca's created.
That sounds fantastic. It seems like it can be a whole lane in itself.
Oh, it totally. That's exactly what it is. Because we don't expect to sell this. We wanted this to be primarily for the breweries.
Of course.
We want it to be something similar to going to a pub, going to a brewery, but not having your normal pizza and fries and crap poutine type stuff.
Right.
We want it to be something that fits our brand.